What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down on what's really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is down 5.47%, 473 the low, 499 the high, and 66 million shares being traded. But of that 66 million, not many institutional transactions, so roughly around 8 transactions, 3 of which are buys, the rest are sells. So institutions are not buying the NIO dip. So things have gone absolutely crazy. So there really hasn't been that much in macro news from China, of course. Today we have the market really moving higher on the American side because of this data. So we did have ADP employment coming in at negative 32,000. So rather horrific, but that does justify a rate cut. So that's kind of where the basis of the American stocks are really moving higher from. But NIO seems to be just absolutely cursed. I know a lot of people on social media are saying that it's actually shorts. They're the reasons why it's being suppressed. But right now, shorts are increasing 861,000 shares. As much as I would love to say, yes, it is all just shorts, that in comparison to the 66 million shares being traded, that's not it. Especially one thing that I always like to dive deep into is where volume does come from. And over the last several videos, common thing, it has been more hedge funds selling. So it'll be very interesting to see how it all does play out. But while I'm actually on here, so 11.49% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 158.99 million shares overall being shorted. But if we pop over to the dark pool for a second, these are all the transactions there above $100,000. Big ones today, 2.3 million. That was done at 1026, 1.5, 1.2, 1.2, and then 1.3. Dark pool is often enough used by shorts and other large entities. And so most likely this 800 plus thousand shares is also kind of included in here, but anything with a whole number like 250,000, 500,000, that is hedge funds. And again, for those of you that have been actually tuning into a lot of my videos, you'd notice that I've been saying that hedge funds have been selling. So for whatever reason, there has been a lot of fear. And I feel like there's more fear now than when Trump and China were going head to head as far as their tariff war and whatever the hell you want to call it. It's crazy. And so for instance, over the last 1 month alone, NIO is down 35.48%. And on a technical standpoint, things look like they are going down even further. So I'll kind of touch on that near the end of the video. But aside from that, though, looking at the options, 8.3 million in calls, 3.7 in puts, and then 41% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be above 5. So that optimism has dropped significantly. At the beginning or at the tail end of last week, I think we were anticipating for it to be like 650 or above. So optimism has definitely dropped. And then when it comes down to the bears, they're anticipating for it to be sub 5, sub 450 next week, and then sub 4 the following weeks. So they're anticipating for things to continue to go down. In my opinion, I think they're kind of getting a little bit too confident, because any stock going down this much, it will eventually hit a key support level, which could prompt a little bit more of a recovery. And right now with that 476, it is right on this S2. So 473 is that strong support, and that's actually the bottom for today. So really want to watch for it to hold that 473. In my opinion, I think that might be the bouncing off point for today. But moral of the story is, if it does break below this 473, then you can see things get very, very real very fast, because 387 would be that next strong support. So I do feel potentially worst case scenario, that is where the bottom would be, 387. But still, even when it hits that, potentially, that would be a crazy sell-off. That would be just most likely a record for consecutive red days, because that has been a brutal day or a brutal couple of weeks. There really hasn't been that much in analyst ratings, so analysts still don't really care about NIO's monthly numbers. So it's honestly going to come down to whether they can actually hit their Q4 numbers or not. And if they can't, then most likely you're going to see like what has happened recently. This is just going to be the tip of the iceberg. As I always say though, If you actually do really believe in NIO, take advantage, buy the dip, do whatever floats your boat. Obviously these videos, I'm just interpreting the data, but it does need to be said that sometimes when everyone is bearish, that's sometimes the best time to buy, right? But again, you guys do whatever the hell floats your boat. As a consensus, 655 is that price target, representing a 37.75% upside. So even though a lot of these recent ratings have been largely bearish and downgrades, still 37.75% upside is rather crazy. So aside from all of that fun stuff quickly popping over here, this is where NIO is really breaking down. And it did, as of today, break below this 200-day moving average. So that is sitting at 502. In my pre-market video, I did kind of mention that shorts, even at that time, were increasing around 400,000 shares. That was their plan. They wanted it to break below that 499, and it worked. So shorts, whoever shorts are, they definitely know their stuff. They know exactly to almost pinpoint accuracy when to double down, when to suppress, when to kill the momentum. So whoever is shorting NIO definitely is not an amateur. And I think in general, though, especially after Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, shorts were fairly active. So it is fair to assume that it is more linked to kind of foreign countries. They are the ones that are shorting NIO. So whether it be Canadian, European, or elsewhere, those are the primary individuals, I think, that are shorting NIO. But as of right now, the only positive is that stochastic RSI is very oversold. So if we get a good piece of news, you could see a nice recovery. But based on all of this, the technicals are really breaking down. Even looking at the market position, you don't see any real substantial willing buyers. And that's been more of a common kind of scenario. Yes, you've seen some kind of pop up here and there, but as of right now, like, things are not looking good whatsoever. And there really hasn't been that much in articles or even like speculative news. The only thing that came out since my video yesterday was this right here. So Onvo's L60, that Black Knight edition, looks like it's going to be starting deliveries December the 5th. So I don't know if that's a good catalyst enough to buy the NIO dip or potentially sell, but this is a good kind of FYI. So I think NIO has really taken a lot of criticism and they've gone radio silent, because like, we normally don't get this kind of blackout period of absolutely no news. There's always someone gossiping at one point or another. So at the end of the day, it's just a very, very unfortunate type of kind of scenario. But again, it does need to be said that if you believe in NIO, buy the dip, do what you need to do. I myself, I will probably take a little bit of a break, and then if it does somehow, for whatever reason, get to, I'd say, like the low fours, this is where I will start to sell more puts. But that's just me. You guys do, again, whatever the hell floats your boat. But this is probably why also at the same time why some institutions are not buying NIO, because almost every stock, for the most part, is massively green today, even the most speculative stocks. So people's appetite for risk is definitely increasing. Just with NIO, is going back to the age-old thing that Wall Street hates NIO. So let me know your thoughts on NIO. Give yourself a shout out if you are buying, if you're selling, are you getting tired of it? What are you generally doing? And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.